Good morning. My name is Juan Debadou. Welcome to GE's Alternative Energy Test Lab. This is a laboratory in the GE Global Research Center in upstate New York. We do a lot of work in this laboratory for renewable energy integration, wind energy, solar energy, energy storage technologies. On the wall here you see a lot of different solar inverter technologies that we work with. What I want to talk to you today about is a program called the Eco-Imagination Home Builders Program, and in particular some home automation technologies that we're developing for that program. So GE has recently launched a program with major developers out there, these are construction firms, to provide Eco-Imagination homes. These are homes that would have an optimized building space, building envelope, but in addition to that, there would be a lot of energy efficient, energy conservation technologies going into it. So think, for example, energy efficient lighting, energy efficient appliances, whole home water purification, and even solar photovoltaics on the roof. And the idea would be to provide, the most economic operations of the homeowner, so reducing or minimizing his home electric utility bills and home water bills, but in addition to that, a very environmentally responsible platform and solution for him to be able to experience. So let me take you over here. What I want to talk to you about is the dashboard that today is providing some capabilities into this Eco-Imagination Home Builders offering. So if you think about having appliances and lighting and water technologies and solar photovoltaics within a home, one of the things that's actually been very interesting to the developers we're working with is a dashboard that pulls all of this capability together. Today, this dashboard is offering a lot of trending capabilities. It'll monitor, for example, how much water your house has consumed, how much energy, electricity from the grid your house has consumed. If you have solar photovoltaics on the roof, it'll tell you how much solar power that array has produced for you throughout the time, how much energy is actually displaced from the grid. Right here we have an example of what this dashboard might look like. And again, today it provides a lot of trending functions. So you can look at, for example, the amount of energy that you've consumed from the grid. If you have solar photovoltaics, you can look at the amount of energy that you've produced through solar photovoltaics on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, or on a monthly basis. So for example, here this lower curve is showing the amount of watt hours that you've produced from solar photovoltaics, and the upper curve is showing the amount of watt hours that you've consumed overall from your home. And so the difference between these two curves is the amount of electricity that you consume from the grid. Again, you can see it on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, or on a monthly basis. You can also see a good illustration of the benefits of participation in this program. So for example, the amount of energy conservation and the amount of solar photovoltaics that you've used, the amount of energy that you've displaced from consumption of the grid is equivalent to about $351 of your monthly utility bill on a year's basis, or 2 tons of carbon dioxide throughout the year, or the equivalent to 4,552 miles of emissions. You can also look at details of what the energy conservation targets for the home are. So for example, this home was designed to achieve a 20% reduction in energy consumption, a 20% reduction in emissions, and a 20% reduction in water consumption. You can also look, for example, at water. So for example, this shows that you are consuming about 4.5 gallons per minute of water on average. It'll show you your monthly consumption of water, your daily consumption of water, and your weekly consumption of water. And again, as with the electricity, you can look at the benefits. And for example, the conservation that you've had and water throughout the year can be rolled up to about $18, or the equivalent of 1,184 water cooler bottles, or the equivalent of 132 bathtubs of water. So the next capabilities that we want to develop are capabilities that are going to demonstrate automation concepts. So as we mentioned that we're doing trending today, the next step is to actually bring the ability to manipulate these energy-consuming devices and energy-producing devices within the home to optimize your energy bill and to optimize the environmental benefit that you're trying to establish. So if you think about this, the way that you would operate thermostats throughout the day is a great example. They have a tremendous impact on your energy utilization, on your energy bill. By setting an adjustable thermostat throughout the day, you can actually reduce or minimize the amount of energy that you consume while you're not home. And that has a big impact on the overall utility bill. You can do the same type of thing with lighting, with dimmable lighting. You can do the same type of thing with appliances. You can decide not to operate certain types of appliances at certain times of the day. And a very interesting concept that we want to bring into this as well is interaction with the utility. And so what I have here is an example of a smart meter. And this meter is a meter that has two-way communication capabilities embedded into it. So what this would provide would be the capability for the utility to communicate with the homeowner and for the homeowner to communicate back to the utility. Why is that interesting? The utilities are beginning to contemplate programs called demand response programs. And these are programs where, if you look at the load profile for the utility throughout the day, there's times of the day when the utility load is so high that they start having trouble in balancing generation with load and in providing electricity to the consumers. The idea of these demand response programs is to disincentivize energy consumption during these peak times. So in a nutshell, the program that we're developing here is one where we're going to augment the training capabilities in this platform with a set of automation capabilities that are going to optimize the way that, inside a home, appliances, lighting, and even solar energy production can operate to minimize your utility bills, minimize your electricity consumption, minimize your water consumption, and provide the maximum environmental responsibility, understanding that you don't want to sacrifice comfort.